Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the commemorative broadcast of We Teal as One. This is in celebration of the World Health Organization's first anniversary, memorializing its cervical cancer elimination day of action around the globe. Introduce our host for this afternoon's affair. May we call in Mr. Henry Endradora.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everybody, wherever you are. Today is a very important day, not only here in the Philippines, but also worldwide. Why? Because we are celebrating the first anniversary of the World Health Organization's strategy to eliminate cervical cancer. We, as a nation, are pledging our commitment, together with 194 countries worldwide, to end cervical cancer by participating in the Glow Teal campaign, which signifies unity and strong commitment among all nations to end this dreaded disease. We have lined up several important activities today, like the Memorandum of Understanding, the signing of Memorandum of Understanding between CerviQ and the partner Inner Wheel Clubs of the Philippines, plus some important messages from distinguished guests. And I'm sure you will all be surprised because this project is supported not only in the Philippines but also worldwide. So don't go away and be with us as we witness the monumental lighting of several structures or landmarks here in the Philippines, not only in Manila but also in the Visayas region, in Cebu City, and also in Mindanao, specifically in Cagayan de Oro. To start off with our program, may we call on the Deputy National Representative, Ms. Ditas Crisostomo, for the invocation, followed by the national anthems of the Philippines and Italy.
Please put ourselves in the presence of the Lord. Lord God, my Father, teach me to know you more, to love you more, and to serve you more faithfully in our life. To dear Lord, help those who are afflicted of cervical cancer, that healing be upon them. To those who are well, let them be aware of this disease, that they may know how to prevent cervical cancer. To Saint Peregrine, the saint of cancer patients, please intercede for these patients with cervical cancer. Our Mother Mary, through your intercession, please help them as well. All prayers geared for their healing. Amen.
Ladies and gentlemen, our Philippine national anthem.
Lupang hinigang
To deliver the Inner Wheel Club pledge, may we call in the National Vice President, Sophia Lee.
Inner Wheel members, please raise your right hand and together we shall recite the Inner Wheel Pledge. Upon my faith and honor, I dedicate myself to the universal cause that is mankind, and solemnly vow to give substance by deed, not word, to the Inner Wheel Creed, selflessness in friendship, and service to humanity. In this I ask divine guidance.
Thank you very much, National Vice President Sophia C. Lee.
IWCPI vision will be delivered to you by National President-elect Emily Duterte, followed by the mission to be given by the immediate past President Maria Pamela de Guzman, and the core values by the National Secretary Maria Minerva Elizaga.
IWCPI is the dynamic organization of committed women bound by friendship and dedicated to selfless service to humanity.
IWCPI mission, selflessness in friendship and service to humanity by providing needed assistance and undertaking special projects for the community, the women, the youth, the elderly, and the marginalized sectors of society.
IWCPI core values: friendship, integrity, responsible volunteerism, dedication and commitment, compassion, relevance.
Thank you, National President-elect Emily Duterte, immediate past National President Maria Pamela C. de Guzman, and National Secretary Marian Minerva Elizaga.
For the welcome remarks for the Luzon region, may we call in the proponents of this project, District Chairman Jovita Bing de Jesus from District 383. And of course, the welcome remarks from the Visayas region will be delivered to us by District Chairman Evelyn Toledo Dumdum And of course, last but not the least, the welcome remarks from the Mindanao region to be delivered to us by the District Chairman Gladys Barbosa from District 385.
National President Yolanda Ramos Wicoco and her Board of Trustees, District Chairmen and their district officers, club presidents and members, International Inner Wheel President Ebe Peneteri Martinez, International Inner Wheel Vice President Zenaida Yungko Farcon, past District Chairman Dr. Enrique A. Tayag, Mr. Michael Jong, Dr. Jesus Randy Rivera, distinguished guests, a pleasant good afternoon. As we celebrate cervical cancer awareness all over the world, let us give tribute and importance to the women who are the primary caretakers of children and elders in every country of the world. International studies demonstrated that when the economy and political organization of a society change, women take a lead in helping the family adjust to new realities and changes to preserve the human race is her main responsibility. Let us recall the multiple roles of a woman. As a daughter, a woman is traditionally responsible for taking care of her parents. As a wife, she is expected to serve her husband, preparing food, clothing, and other personal needs. As a mother, she has to take care of the children and their needs, including education. Often manage things at home, offer more emotional nurturance, and takes a role as the family planner by managing bills, planning events, and organizing the couple's family's social life, and to love her children with all her heart and to understand her children. Importantly, women are now getting power even in rural areas. In many countries now, women are the head of the state. Education has made women independent and they are no longer dependent on men to lead their lives. Business laws have changed to allow more women in the workplace and give them a comfortable environment to work in. Summing it all, a woman is a multitasker. For this reason, Inner Wheel Clubs of the Philippines Incorporated saw the importance and values of women in our society and how to preserve their lives. Through the cervical cancer screening, prevention, and treatment, a project of the Inner Wheel Club of Central Makati of District 383, then adopted as District 383 District Project, and through our National President, Yolanda Wicoco, became a national project and now an international Inner Wheel project. We will be able to stop cervical cancer to women because it's curable and preventable through early screening. Cervical cancer is the second cancer killer in the Philippines. An estimated 7,277 new cases every year. About 3,807 died from the disease. An average of 11 women per day succumb to it in the Philippines, mostly from the lower income sectors, with little access to high costs of treatment. Often not known to Filipino women due to lack of awareness and non-priority by the local health community. The consultation screening rate is dismal 20%, resulting in diagnosis at a late stage. Contributing to high mortality rate of 75%, diagnosed women's cervical cancer is detectable only during the third and fourth stages of the cancer. Treatment plans, which may include surgery, chemotherapy, and radiation therapy, are frequently unavailable, inaccessible, or non-affordable. Are we going to let this happen? Let us all work hand in hand to prolong the lives of women. Thank you, and God bless. Stay safe.
the National Board of Trustees of the Inner Clubs of the Philippines, led by National President Yolanda Wicoco, International Inner President Ebi Paniteri Martinez, International Inner Vice President Sinaida Farcon, dynamic Pink First Ladies of Inner distinguished government officials, our project partners, ladies and gentlemen, a pleasant afternoon. On November 17 last year, the World Health Organization launched a global strategy to accelerate the elimination of cervical cancer as a public health problem, with a resolution passed by 194 countries. And communities around the world marked this movement with a day of action and launch of local campaigns. Advocates and survivors played leading roles and shared their stories. They were joined by high-level speakers representing a broad coalition of partners dedicated to eliminating cervical cancer. Communities across the globe illuminated the cause, lighting over 100 landmarks in the color teal, the color for cervical cancer elimination. This year, the Inner Clubs of the Philippines, Incorporated, is not just joining the call to action, but is in fact now in the forefront to help eliminate cervical cancer. And why is that? Because IWCPI is a women organization for women and by women, with the motto selflessness in friendship and service to humanity. What more compelling service to humanity if not through eliminating one of the causes of female mortality and morbidity? In the Philippines, cervical cancer is the second leading cancer site among women. An estimated 7,277 new cases of and 3,807 deaths due to cervical cancer are expected to occur every year. Given these statistics, there is even more reason to help accelerate the elimination of cervical cancer. And it can be eliminated because in nearly all cases, HPV infection, which is the root cause, can be wiped out using vaccines. Take the case of Australia, for example. It is on track to wipe out cervical cancer in their communities due largely to comprehensive cervical screening network and active HPV vaccination. And so today, being First Ladies, let us commit to help change the mindsets of our women through awareness campaigns. Let us help eliminate cervical cancer because together we can.
Inner Clubs of the Philippines District 385 Mindanao, with Inner Clubs of the Philippines Incorporated and International Inner are so excited to support this project worldwide campaign in the eradication of cervical cancer.
Thank you very much, District 383 Chairman Jovita Bing de Jesus, District 386 Chairman Evelyn Toledo Dumdum, and District 385 Chairman Gladys Barbosa.
Kanina po, during the introduction, I have mentioned that talagang napakarami po naming sorpresa ngayong hapon dahil kami po ay nasurpresa rin dahil ang ating pong special message, the very first special message for this afternoon's affair will be given to us by none other than Her Excellency, the Vice President of the Philippines, Maria Leonor Leni Robredo. Let's give it up for our Vice President.
Magandang gabi sa lahat ng kasama natin ngayon as we celebrate the first anniversary of the launch of the World Health Organization strategy to accelerate the elimination of cervical cancer. I hope you are safe and well. Napaka-importanteng issue ang paggamot ng cervical cancer. Sa buong mundo, pang-apat ito sa pinakakaraniwang anyo ng cancer sa mga kababaihan. Dito sa Pilipinas, pumapangalawa lang ito sa breast cancer. Maraming dalubhasa at doktor ang nagsasabing maaaring gamutin ang cervical cancer. The global health community agrees that the world already has the tools to eliminate and prevent this disease. The imperative now is to make these tools more accessible, especially for those in the margins. I and the rest of the Office of the Vice President join the call to increase awareness of cervical cancer and elevate it as a public health problem. Let us prevent the suffering of so many women and young girls, lalo na sa laylayan ng lipunan. Patuloy tayong mangampanya para sa mas maayos na edukasyon tungkol sa women's health. Suportahan natin ang mga batas tulad ng Universal Healthcare Law at palakasin natin ang ating overall health system para masiguro ang kalayaan natin sa pangambang magkasakit. Tandaan natin, tayo ang lakas ng isa't isa. Kaya sige lang, tuloy lang. Palawakin pa natin ang saklaw ng pagmamahal at malasakit. Palakasin pa ang ating hanay. At sama-sama tayong pumanday ng isang mas makatao at mapagmahal na kinabukasan para sa ating mga pamilya, sa ating bayan, at sa mga susunod na henerasyon ng mga Pilipino. Maraming salamat, mabuhay kayong lahat.
Maraming salamat po, Vice President Leni Robredo. Mabuhay po kayo. And of course, ito po, it is my honor also and pride to introduce to you the CEO and founder of Cervic, none other than a good friend. I consider him a good friend, a brother, because he is really a person na talagang malalapitan mo anytime. I am referring to none other than Dr. Jesus Randy Boggs Rivera. Take it away.
About the same time last year, the World Health Organization launched an accelerated elimination strategy to end cervical cancer. This global strategy is known as the 90-70-90 approach, where 90% of all children aged 9 to 14 years of age be vaccinated by an HPV vaccine. 70% of all women be screened by a high-performance test. And 90% of women with pre-cancer and cervical cancer be treated. 1 year has passed, and despite this COVID pandemic, the concerted effort by all parties is said to be unprecedented and unimaginable to stop cervical cancer at its knees, aimed toward a cervical cancer-free Philippines. At this juncture, on behalf of Cervic, I would like to extend my heartfelt thank you to everyone and to the following organizations. In no particular order, to MSD, your vision is the same as ours, and that of prevention will always be better than cure. To AI. For your support in providing our nation with the first colposcopy equipped with artificial intelligence. To the Inner Wheel Clubs of the Philippines Incorporated, a tremendously fantastic organization with over 100 clubs spread across the Philippines. You are the heart of this partnership. This team, however, will not be completed without the Department of Health. Thank you, Dr. Eric Tayag, for coming, and we hope to contribute a national cervical cancer registry and to partake in a comprehensive cervical cancer screening program. Of course, the Philippine OBGYN Society, also our Comadronas, the Integrated Midwives Association of the Philippines and the PLGPMI, and the local government units, the barangay units, all women organization, and many, many more. Sa inyong lahat, maraming salamat po.
Thank you so much, Dr. Boggs. Ayan, ang soon-to-be karotarian ko. Anyway, sa pagpapatuloy po ng ating programa, ito po isa na namang sorpresa. Hindi po namin inaakala na darating siya sa ating pagtitipon ngayon dahil napaka-busy rin po ng taong ito. Highly visible po siya anytime, every time. Kasi po, he always supports worthy activities or projects just like our project of ending cervical cancer rather. So please, it is my honor also and pride to introduce to you the Director for Knowledge Management and Information Technology Service Office of the Department of Health. Let's give it up for Dr. Eric Tayag.
Hi, I'm Dr. Eric Tayag, and it's the first anniversary of the global strategy to accelerate the elimination of cervical cancer. Congratulations to the organizers on this date, November 17. I am in solidarity with everyone. Women should be protected against the human papilloma virus that causes cervical cancer. The vaccination of women, girls, in the appropriate age groups will come a long way, as well as the early diagnosis or detection of cervical cancer. Let us tell everyone, let us glow with teal.
Maraming salamat po, Dr. Eric Tayag. Makakaasa po kayo na this will not only be a dream, but we will try our best to make this advocacy a success. The next special message will be coming from the partner of CerviQ, the AI Dot from South Korea. Please welcome the CEO of AI Dot, Mr. Michael Jong.
안녕하세요. 저는 아이도트 대표 정정입니다. 세계보건기구의 글로우틸 글로벌 캠페인에 참여하신 지 1주년이 된 필리핀 서비큐에 축하 인사를 드립니다. 이 행사에 같이 참여하고 있는 필리핀의 이너윌 클럽께도 축하의 말씀을 전합니다. 저희 아이도트는 서비큐의 한국 파트너로서 자궁경부암에 대한 인식 확대를 돕고 있습니다. 필리핀 그리고 전 세계의 자궁경부암 근절을 위해 앞으로도 힘을 모읍시다. 감사합니다.
Thank you so much, Mr. Michael Jong. And rest assured that we are going to promote and use your product here in the Philippines, specifically the CerviRay. Thank you so much. And of course, another special message will be coming from the IWCPI National Representative, Belen Go.
To National President Yoli Wicoco and her Executive Board of Trustees, International Inner Wheel President Ebe Paniteri Martinez, International Inner Wheel Vice President Seni Farcon, Mayor Joy Belmonte of Quezon City, other Quezon City LGUs, past district chairmen and officers, past and present club presidents, officers and members, past national presidents, friends, ladies and gentlemen, a pleasant day to all. We are all gathered here today to show our wholeheartedly support to the launching of the Will Conserve project of the Inner Wheel Clubs of the Philippines Incorporated. wherein the said project was adopted this interwheel year as a national directed project, which was started by Interwheel Club of Central Makati of District 3A3 and was dubbed as Wheel Can Serve. The International Interwheel governing body approved this project last October 21 during their meeting and became an international project of Interwheel. Our president, Ebe, her team, Pink First, have four main priorities, and one of it is health. It is in tune to our international and social project of a strong women, a stronger world. Thus, she is encouraging all the clubs around the world to launch this project that will stop cervical cancer among women and girls, her trust of no more mortality from this disease. For all you know, I am a cervical cancer survivor. For 6 years now, I am still alive and kicking, and no more trace of cancer. I am a living proof that having such disease is not yet the end of the world. It could still be cured if only detected earlier and be given quick medical attention. It is also a disease that can be prevented now too, by having all the proper information or awareness on the causes, symptoms, and prevention of the disease, and by having cervical screening tests for women and girls. I am so happy and proud that Interwheel Clubs of the Philippines, through the leadership of National President Yoli and her Pink First team, will be more of big help in rendering and extending service to the underprivileged women and girls in our society in stopping and preventing cervical cancer through the help, of course, of our partners in this endeavor. Let me first thank our mighty Lord for making these things possible, and our grateful gratitude to International Interwheel Governing Body, headed by International Interwheel President Ebe and her execom, and the 15 board directors for making this project internationally. Really a dream come true for all of us. Our big thanks to our kind and with a big heart, Dr. Randy Boggs Rivera, who showed much concern and support on this project. And of course, thank you, Interwheel Club of Central Makati, through the leadership of District Chairman Bing De Jesus of District 3A3. Thank you all, dear Pink First family. God bless us all. More power to Interwheel Clubs of the Philippines Incorporated. Mabuhay po tayong lahat.
Thank you very much for your special messages from Her Excellency Vice President Maria Leonor Robredo, to CerviQ founder and CEO Dr. Jesus Randy Boggs Rivera, to the Director of the Department of Health, Knowledge Management and Information Technology Service Office, Dr. Eric Tayag, to CEO of AI.Dot, Mr. Michael Jong, to the Interwheel Clubs of the Philippines Incorporated National Representative, Ms. Belen Go,
Alam niyo po, sa isang programa na katulad nito, na napakalaki, ay talagang marami pong mga inspirational messages, welcome messages, or special messages. Natural lamang po yun dahil yun po ay pagpapakita ng suporta nila sa napakagandang proyekto na ito. So ang susunod po natin ay isang inspirational message na manggagaling from the International Inner Wheel Club Vice President, Zenaida Parcon.
Congratulations to the Inner Clubs of the Philippines National Board of Trustees, led by Pink First President Yolanda Wicoco, for adopting Will Can Serve as a special project this Pink First year. I am confident that after 3 years, it will become a national directed project because it will surely create an impact and will be relevant to the women and girls in our community. Hats off to District Chairman Jovita De Jesus for seeking the endorsement of IWCPI for this great project. She has fully supported this campaign to eliminate cervical cancer, the only type of cancer which is preventable. Her passion and drive to promote this campaign is very commendable. I was able to attend 2 webinars which presented various information about this dreaded disease and its treatments. I have heard for myself how awareness and vaccination will really save lives. And of course, my admiration goes to the proponent of this project, the Inner Club of Central Makati, and its president, Jeline Saliman, for spearheading this campaign and for coining this very catchy project title, Will Can Serve. A comprehensive news article about this project was featured on the International Inner Wheel website last September 2021, and I heard that our international editor was so impressed with the project. The project title, Will Can Serve, really caught the attention of our international president, Ebe Martinez. According to her, she liked the way of expressing the goal of the campaign. At the October Executive Committee meeting and the International Governing Body meeting, the letter of IWCPI requesting for endorsement for this project was discussed. President Ebe requested me to present in brief what the IWCPI letter was all about. I explained that the project Will Can Serve is very apt for this year's theme, Pink First, and for our international social project, Strong Women, Stronger World, particularly on the area of attention, which is health of women. I also shared that upon knowing the presidential thrust for the year, Inner Clubs of the Philippines Incorporated has immediately aligned its projects to address this thrust. And this particular project stood out as one of the best. In endorsing this project to the rest of the clubs around the world, our actions will be in unison and will create bigger impact to the communities. The International Inner Wheel Board then approved that a letter will be sent to clubs around the world to encourage them to conduct projects that will stop cervical cancer among women and girls. I was very delighted to hear this. It was also suggested that the projects be conducted during the first 10 days of January 2022 as part of celebrating our Inner Wheel Day. This is indeed a great milestone for IWCPI, and we are thankful to the International Inner Wheel Board. We are hopeful that this will continue yearly and eventually become the flagship project of Inner Wheel. Let us continue my fellow Filipino Inner Wheel members in helping women in becoming healthy and strong as we build a stronger world. A pleasant day to all of you.
Thank you so much, IWVP Zenaida Farcon, for that inspirational message. And of course, another inspirational message. Siyempre, kapag nagbigay po ng inspirational message ang Vice President, of course, magbibigay din po ng inspirational message ang ating International Inner Wheel President, Abby Panitere Martinez.
Good afternoon. Inner Wheel greetings to all attendants, in particular to National President Yolanda Wikoko, International Inner Wheel Vice President Zenaida Farcon, National Representative Belen Go, and all national dignitaries, District 383 Chairman Jovita de Jesus, and district dignitaries, Inner Wheel Club of Central Makati President, all Inner Wheel and Rotary dignitaries, clubs, presidents, and members, Quezon City Mayor, distinguished guests. It is incredible. Human papillomavirus vaccine saves thousands of women from cervical cancer. The vaccination program to prevent cervical cancer has so far stopped thousands of women from developing the disease. This important declaration was recently published in the UK press, The Guardian and The Lancet, and it is a further confirmation of the remarkable life-saving campaign Wheel Can Serve, promoted by the Inner Wheel Clubs of the Philippines Incorporated, District 383, as a special national directed project for Inner Wheel Year 21-22. Supported by Inner Wheel Club of Central Makati, District 383, and the two Rotary Clubs of Manila South and Cubao Sunrise, to support in turn the World Health Organization to eliminate cervical cancer in the Philippines and all over the world by the year 2040. An awareness campaign, cervical screening for women who cannot afford its cost, and support of treatment of cancer-stricken women in the next 3 years are the main highlights of this campaign, involving women's community groups to produce items to sell and fund cervical screening and help their communities to engage in livelihood activities. Cervical cancer is an avoidable disease, and HPV, human papillomavirus infections, have been nearly eliminated in certain countries under vaccine scheme. It is the only cancer which is preventable thanks to screening and human papillomavirus vaccination. Cervical cancer is the most common sexually transmitted infection in the world, can be spread from a person to another, and is often asymptomatic. Women's high mortality rate is due to the fact that most women were diagnosed at the late stage of disease for lack of symptoms, lack of awareness, and inaccessible treatment. Cervical cancer victims are very young and older women. This campaign is in perfect tune with this year's theme and triennial international service project, Strong Women, Strong Words. The International Inner Wheel President theme is Pink First, women helping women. But in this case, we could also say women saving women. Thanks to the District 383 Wheel Can Serve campaign, I became more sensitized to the dangers of this serious invasive disease and hope that inner wheel clubs all over the world will adopt this project on the first 10 days of January 2022 as part of Inner Wheel Day celebrations. We must not forget what International Wheel President in 1969-1960 Helen Foster wrote to all her club presidents. I would ask all members of clubs throughout the world to link together in action on January the 10th, the day that the Manchester Club, England, adopted the name Inner Wheel. I'm sure there is inspiration and encouragement to be gained in the knowledge that your fellow members throughout the world are at that moment joined together to extend service and friendship. For this reason, I share Helen Foster's recommendation and hope inner wheel clubs in the world will support Inner Wheel Clubs of Philippines Incorporated District 383 members Wheel Can Serve campaign, thus honoring the first priority of Presidential Theme 2021-2022 being first, health. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you, IIW President Ebe. Ngayon naman po, eto, isa sa mga hinahangaan ko kasi nakapanayam ko na po ito sa aming isang programa na Rotary Moments. Siyempre, ikinalulugod ko pong ipakilala sa inyo to give us a keynote message, the National President of Inner Wheel Clubs of the Philippines, Ms. Yolanda Yoli Wicoco.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. To answer the question of why the Inner Wheel Clubs of the Philippines Incorporated and myself in particular took extra attention to this advocacy, the Cervical Cancer Awareness Screening and Treatment Project, the answer lies in my preparation or part of my preparation in assuming this present position in this organization of women as the national president. I had been privileged either to be a member or in the top hierarchy of two civic organizations prior to this present responsibility. The first one is a mixed membership and the other also an all-women organization. And in both, they have a single flagship project that can easily be identified with them, or shall we say, their brand. I remained a member of the former, while in the latter, I had already resigned because of time issues. My goal as the national president for this year is for the Inner Wheel Clubs of the Philippines to be the organization of choice for professional and qualified women. And to do that, we must have an identifying advocacy close to a woman's heart. Where to find that unknown single identifying advocacy remained a mystery until I found out myself that the answer lies within reach. It is through the members' various projects that had created the most impact on the intended beneficiaries. That was a eureka moment for me. I had listened or had heard the two districts' accompanying reports on this project brief, but I found District 383's study on this project more compelling and detailed, especially on the means and how to sustain in the future. As I read and listen to their reports, I became more and more convinced that this could be the advocacy I'm searching for so many reasons. One is that the cervical cancer project can only be for women because the cervix is a body anatomy exclusive only for women. Two is that of all cancers afflicting women, this is the most preventable through early intervention and much better, encouraging every woman in the early adulthood to get vaccinated in this fourth cause of death among women in the world. Isn't it an irony that so many women died from this cause, and yet it is the most preventable if only they get the proper intervention? And yes, the economic, social, and psychological cost of losing a wife, a mother, a daughter, or a near relative to this cause can be quantified. Think of the children growing up deprived of the love and care of a mother, the psychological trauma of losing a beloved female relative to this cause will forever haunt those individuals even in adulthood. I've seen grown-up men and women tearing up, recounting their loss and the emptiness of losing a mother, a daughter, a sister this way. Let us together prevent this tremendous loss in all the ways we can. Let us make this our personal advocacy. One life we save is one life too many. If we, each one of us, could only help a woman or two within our lifetimes, you just did not only save that woman's life, you saved an entire generation. Think about it. It won't even put a dent in our pockets, but to your recipient or recipients, it meant the world for them. Sa punto pong iyan, ako makikiusap sa lahat ng miyembro ng Inner Wheel to make this cervical cancer awareness screening and treatment our personal advocacy, to embrace it as a lifetime goal. Thank you, everyone, and have a good day.
Thank you very much, IIW Vice President Zenaida Farcon, IIW President Ebe Paniteri Martinez, and National President Yolanda Yoli Wikoko.
Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome here in Club Filipino in Green Hills. Today's event comes at an important juncture. We will sign the Memorandum of Understanding to advance further the partnership and support for the World Health Organization's global campaign to end cervical cancer. This MOU will formalize the collaboration between CerviQ and Inner Wheel Clubs of the Philippines to spread awareness, promote screening, encourage vaccination, and provide treatment to the Filipino women as concrete measures toward eliminating cervical cancer in the Philippines. In a little while, we will be signing the MOU and we will transfer to the other conference room. So please don't go away and witness this monumental activity. Okay, we have come to the moment of signing of Memorandum of Understanding between CerviQ and Inner Wheel Clubs of the Philippines. And I believe all the representatives and the witnesses are ready. So you have all your pens. Please go over with the contract in front of you. And then sign on the prescribed place or area. Okay, while they are reviewing, of course, everybody is excited with this momentous event. I could see the most beautiful NP, Yoli Wikoko, and of course the representative, the founder of CerviQ. Okay, if the documents are signed, please show them on the camera. Show them. There you have it, please. Okay, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. The Memorandum of Understanding between CerviQ and Inner Wheel Clubs of the Philippines has formally been signed. This is the start of this worthwhile partnership, and we are now part of one formidable team whose mission is to advocate a holistic approach to eradicate cervical cancer in the Philippines. So let's give it up for everybody. Congratulations and mabuhay po tayong lahat. Good luck sa ating advocacy. Okay, narito na po tayo ngayon sa pinakahihintay natin portion ng ating programa ngayong araw na ito. After po nating mapirmahan ang MOU between CerviQ and the representatives of Inner Wheel Clubs of the Philippines, we are now here in front of the Quezon City Memorial Circle Trilon to witness the lighting of the monumental structure. In a while po, iilawan po namin ng colored teal ang Trilon or yung Quezon Memorial Circle Monument, and that is a symbol. It's a symbol of our support to end cervical cancer in the Philippines. We are all determined to make it not just a symbol. We are here to light our torches and carry out our mission to serve as beacons of hope to all Filipino women. We will not falter. We will not let any woman die of cervical cancer. We will collectively raise our unified and concerted effort to end cervical cancer, and together we will say, we Teal as one. Ganun din po ang tema natin ngayon at excited ko rin pong malaman kung ano nagaganap sa ating mga kapatid dito sa Cebu. Cebu, ano po ang ganap ninyo dyan? Pasok!
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Welcome, sir. The Glow Teal Cervical fountain with the teal color is now lighted. Congratulations, Inner Wheel. Yes, the Inner Wheel Club of the Philippines, Cebu District 86 would like to thank Madam Cindy Chan for gracing the occasion and for leading the lighting ceremony, and of course, the Cebu Central Club of Inner Wheel Club of the Philippines for organizing or initiating this campaign.
Maraming salamat at sana po ay nag-i-enjoy kayo dyan. At naku, napakalaki ng inyong celebration dyan. At ang suporta ninyo ay ramdam na ramdam namin hanggang dito sa Maynila. Dahil ang dami nyo pong mga structure or monumental structure na iilawan. Kami dito iisa pero dyan napakarami, 13 yata. Maraming salamat po. So meron din po tayong mga isang iilawan sa Mindanao. So tingnan po natin kung anong ganap ngayon. Mindanao, pasok, Cagayan de Oro.
Good evening, everyone. We are from District 385, Mindanao. We are here at City Hall, Cagayan de Oro City Hall. It's raining very hard in our place right now, but then again, we are committed and dedicated to celebrate this inner wheel conserve the cancer awareness campaign. And all of us, 7 Club of District 385, are here.
maraming salamat. Andiyan po sa Cagayan de Oro si DC Gladys Barbosa. Maraming salamat po. So balik tayo dito sa Manila at mamaya po lilipat na ako dun sa mismong paggaganapan ng ating Glow Teal.